Na, 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 na. On the request line. Yeah, I finally got to a point in my life after 38 years where I've always said like I want stories. I want to live life that I'm just always collecting stories, always collecting stories. But collecting stories when you're approaching life in that way always means that you're like going for like the extreme, the most. Like you want that impact, that effect, that like wow factor. And although that's fine and it's been fun, I finally got to a point where I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What is that all for though? What are these stories for? Because right now these stories, although yeah, I can tell them, but the implications of it and the impact of it, because every action has a consequence and every consequence has an impact. Now it's actually impacting my like my emotional and my mental and my spiritual well-being. So although I'm still here for fun and I want to live life to the fullest, but I think that my approach now has um, a little bit. I just want more balance. There's this really beautiful like Buddhist principle or teaching where it's life is always you're gonna have like highs and you're gonna have lows, but what can we do in order to maintain a balance so that no matter what happens, good or bad, I can still navigate it at a more of a level playing field. So that's been something that's kind of like dictating how I navigate life, um, because I can't do those extremes anymore. I mean, I can, but at what cost? And so now it's like constantly I'm just like taking inventory and taking stock of like what goes out and what goes in. And it was just so much of me going out, going out, going out, going out. And then I was left with nothing in. I have heard a lot of like people being like, wow, you're so different now. Um, but it came at a cost of me feeling like a different person and not in the best of ways, you know. I got sick, I got tired, I get depleted, and I'm like, I have to reevaluate all this. But I think that comes with age too. Like I think that comes with time, that comes with experiences, and also being able to forgive yourself to go through all those things and realize like, oh wait, this isn't serving me anymore, you know. And I love the notion of like evaluating life as like, does this serve me or does it not serve me, as opposed to like, is this good or is this bad, is this cool or is this wrong? Like there's no right or wrong. Is like, is it serving me? If it is for a greater good or for whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve, then let's continue on this path. And if it's not, then like again, let's take some stock, let's take inventory and reassess. I always find it so interesting how like as children, boys especially, like they're trained like don't feel, like you can't cry, when it's like crying is like such a beautiful and cathartic experience, like a release of something. It's an expression of like of a beautiful emotion or a sad emotion, and all of the emotions are necessary. You need them in order to be able to distinguish everything else. So like I think it's important to be able to like to retrain, to unlearn this emotions are bad or that certain emotions are not good for you and like others are better for you. No, all of the emotions serve a purpose. So if only we were able to kind of like engage with them and not, you don't, it doesn't mean that you have to live in a single emotion, but you can visit with all these emotions and then understand, what are these telling you? What are these emotions telling me? What do they want me to know about me right now? And so that's another thing for me right now. It's been like developing a practice, I think, of like happiness. Happiness isn't a thing that you just are or that just happens. It's a choice, it's a practice. And so when you take the time to understand what your body needs and who you are, then you're like, oh, I'm happy when I stretch in the morning, or I'm happy when I read for 10 minutes, or I'm happy when I go for a walk. It could be anything, really. It could be anything. And so it's like, so then if I know that that brings me a certain level of joy or a certain level of ease or yeah, of peace, then I'm going to conscientiously and very, um, yeah, conscientiously do those things. So like growing up, I'm from Colombia. And just a little backstory. And like Colombia, love it. You have to go. It's amazing. Um, But it's very much, especially like the female body is very much idolized and sexualized. And it's about being like the perfect proportions, that kind of thing. And I didn't fit into that mold. And so my mom like body shamed me my whole life growing up. And it was very hard. Like, and a lot of your self-worth and value is determined by your physical appearance, the physicality of who you are. So mentally and emotionally, and my personality, energetically, I felt like, yeah, bitch, I'm amazing. But my body didn't fit into that mold. So I felt very like fragmented. Like I felt like very disconnected from my body. So I felt like I didn't belong in this body. And then I hated it. And I punished, and I was like such a bully. So nice to everybody else, but for myself, I was like so mean. Oh my God, I'm sorry. So mean. With me not enjoying my body, I was numbing the dislike for myself with drinking a lot. And so I was abusing alcohol a lot. And there's nothing wrong with drinking, I don't think. But when you're using it as a coping mechanism, it's a very dangerous thing. And so I saw myself in various situations where I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do last night? Or how the fuck did I get here? Why am I with this man who's like literally a piece of shit? Like, what am I doing, And so I couldn't stand it anymore. Your words are like armor. Like, so the words that you put on you got to be careful because they will literally show up like that. So I was like, okay, well, if I've been telling myself that I hate myself, what if I tell myself the opposite? What will happen? Okay, so instead of saying like, ugh, I'm ugly, nobody loves me, I'm so fat. What if I'm like, yo, you are beautiful. You are worthy. You are excellence. Let's see what happens. And slowly but surely, those words started replacing the energy fields around me. And again, I'm not like at a 100. There's still some times where I'm just like, you know? But then I catch myself and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's remember that in itself will have an impact. So all that to say is that like, I'm in just like it's a work in progress. And my relationship with my body is a work in progress. And some days I like it more than others, but I know that it's worthy of my attention and my affection. And it is definitely worthy of boundaries, of protecting it and nurturing it. And that goes for all of me on every plane, physically, emotionally, spiritually, And that looks like the people that I relate to, the people that I give my time to, projects that I spend time on, the work that I do, the time that I invest in sleeping, time that I invest in, that's how it all shows up. That's why it's important to like just be very present and every day tell the people that you love them. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Even if sometimes you don't, the fact that your body is still waking up and carrying you, it's a lot. It's huge. A lot of people don't have that. So I think it's very important to just like really emphasize small things. Emphasize yourself. Emphasize the things that come naturally to you. I know I struggled a lot sometimes with like thinking like, what am I good at? What am I supposed to do? What's my purpose? And if you stop looking around and just kind of look down and look at where your feet are stepping, it'll tell you a lot. It always boils down to like, do you believe in it? You have to believe in your shit. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that if you are inclined to do something or to want to explore something, there's something behind that. And if you get out of your way, meaning like your negative thoughts and any story that you may have, it's crazy what you could discover on the other side if you just get out of your way and go for it, you know? So you just have to believe in your shit. And don't get me wrong, I did a lot of things. I had to take a lot of shitty jobs, and I took on a lot of things that I didn't really want to do in order to make it work. But I'm glad that I did, because now I'm like, it's my business. So I'm really proud of it. Very proud of it. So Santa Isla. Santa Isla? For all my gringos. Yeah. So Santa Isla, SantaIsla on Instagram or website.com. Yeah, check it out.